Okay, now we're on the last module for the day. So we're going to open up a Chrome browser on our station. We're going to go to this address right here, which is Splunk. I'm sure some of you have heard of Splunk, have used Splunk, and we're going to be using it today. So it's going to be a new thing. Not all of you have used before, and that's totally all right. We're going to get signed into Splunk. And while we do that, let's go to number one here. What is the Windows Management Instrumentation, WMI? So a lot of you probably won't know what WMI is. It's a set of extensions to a Windows driver model that provides an operating system interface through which instrumented components provide information and notification. In English, that means that it's a Windows driver model that helps provide an interface between um, Windows and for managing its data and operations. So it was written a long time ago. It's still used today. It can be used to automate administrative tasks in enterprise settings, but it can also be used in some cases by attackers for lateral movement, persistence, data collecting. So usually WMI activity is an important part of maintaining network security, and it's good to properly either look for it um, and or disabling it. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, don't show me this again. So here is the Splunk. Choose a default dashboard. So this stuff we can kind of ignore. We're going to answer number one real quick. And then we're going to go to number two. Use sysmon logs, which are extracted source type, this right here, to find which file was run by child image of, and then that. Okay. So we're going to hit search and reporting. I'm just going to hit never, and we can, if it'll operate, there we go, we'll hit paste. See if it'll actually paste it in. If it doesn't, we'll just have to type it. Should paste though, it's kind of weird. Maybe yours will, that's okay. I'm just going to open up a notepad on my end and I will type it. Okay, we didn't get any events, so let me see if I fat fingered something. Okay, don't be silly like me. So I made the mistake. I forgot to change this from a 24-hour window to all time. So make sure you click to all time. This right here, this is from the guide me section. You can copy paste it right into the new search, and then you will have a statistic right here, and it'll tell you exactly what happened in the command line. So use the command line /c to open up a shell.command. So it'll be shell.command right here. I was too hurried and I clicked cmd.exe. So that's on me. That's what that does. Then we go to 3. The image C Windows System 32 WMI priv se.exe created 52 identical images. What is the approximate time difference between each log? Okay, so we'll go to the guide me section. It'll tell you exactly what this is. Now, obviously, Splunk is something that is it's a very in-depth logging tool. Splunk is only used for logs. That's all it is. It's a log repository, pretty much. Okay, so the time interval between this, let's see, all of the files were created. Okay, so they're made on 2021, 621 times 07, 3748. So then 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 5, 6. So it's like pretty much 5-second interval. 5-second interval. Nice. Which of the following is a grandchild image of this location, and what is the software's main purpose? So again, we'll go in the guide me, and in order to find the grandchild image, we need to find new processes created by the child. So we use this right here. And again, learning search parameters for any type of like thing like Wireshark, which you guys did last week if you were here, and now Splunk for this week is very in-depth. It takes time. You're not going to necessarily know what you're looking for. So in this search, we're going to extracted source type. It's an XML win event log with Microsoft Windows operational event codes and a parent image of this directory here, and then it's sorting it. So that's what that is. It's just heavily parsing the file. And so which of the following is the grandchild image of this? It's this right here. What is the main purpose? Um, Computer program that exposes operating system surface. Another program? No. So it goes to C tools nc.exe, which is netcat, I believe, computer network utility for reading and writing to network connections. I think it's this. Um, that is my guess right here. And it's because it's going to this IP at 443 using netcat. So let's see. Yeah, nice. So then we go to 5. What is the attacker's purpose when he chose to use the software from the previous question? What netcat is, what is nc.exe? Um, yeah, so netcat, I'm sure you guys have heard about netcat before. It's a network control program. It's been around for a long time. Let me click on this. So this is kind of, you'll see it nc.exe. Um, it's considered a gray thing. It's generally malicious. So if you see that, you can use it as a nice tool. It does TCP/IP port level accesses, and it's good for testing networks to try to bust into them. But yeah, let's see here. Let's look at the guide me here. Look at the field command line logs. Um, we can see that the attacker is running netcat exe with the parameters of an IP address, which is the attacker's IP, and a port. The netcat tool was used to provide the attacker a reverse shell. A reverse shell is a shell that's established on a connection that is initiated from the remote machine. So what that means is like having a shell here, kinda. So it's like having one of these bad boys, but the attacker has one remotely. So he can see this remotely. That's essentially what that is. Okay, so reverse shell from this at port 443. Navigate the incident review in the enterprise security. What is the title of the alert associated with the IP address from the previous question? So if we go to the incident review, we'll do guide me. Navigate to triggered alerts in the activity tab. Go to the activity tab up here. We go to triggered alerts. It's up here. It's going to load. We have to change a setting. Change the app value to all. Okay. So app value to all, and yeah, then we click view result. Okay, so we see this right here. Okay, so what is the title of the alert associated with the IP address from the previous question? The alert is triggered alert, web crawling activity detected rule. That's the fired alert. So when you paste it in, make sure you're not like me. Make sure you get rid of the threat portion because web crawling activity detected. Is the title. It's not. So make sure to delete threat and rule at the end instead of just copy pasting like I did. You will get it wrong. That's my fault. Find the logs that created the alert. Which file was requested by all the GET requests? So what we're going to do is run a query to find the logs that were alerted as suspicious. So we're going to run this. Might take a second. And if there aren't any results, then we can go to the time and we're going to select all time and we should get some results. So we got a bunch of results. So find the logs that are created by the alert. Which file was requested by all the GET requests? So let's look. It's get this file. So get from where? Hold on. We're going to move this over. So these are one of the 4 things we got to look for. So sometimes it's just about being patient, looking and seeing what it's looking for. You can also do search function. We can look. Is that in here? Yes. So it looks like that is the one that is being looked at by every single file. Let's just look and see if there's any of the other ones as well. Because we're curious. We want to make sure that we're getting the right information here for our security reports in the future. Shell command.cmd. I'll just type that in. So nothing with shell. Nothing with test, is there? Let's see. Nope, nothing with test. And nothing with value. Yeah, nothing with value. So it's definitely going to be info.aspx. Which file was run by the grandchild image of nc.exe? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. You're going to unfortunately have to use these every single time. So we search for the following query to find the child image's name. So keep in mind, in the real world, you're not going to be expected to know the syntax for Splunk to a T. You're going to have to be looking stuff up, trying to figure that type of stuff out. And it can take time. Like uh, it can take as long as years to truly understand this stuff to a T. So we're going to delete this. We're going to enter in that. We found it. Okay, so let's see. So what file was run by the grandchild image of netcat? So this is the child image's name. This is the process ID right there. No other events. That, okay. And then we're going to search the file's name right here. So now we have both right here. So it looks like we have exfiltration.ps1. We look here. That is exactly what we were looking for. This one is a net share command. It's not the same, so that should be correct. And for those of you that might be wondering why are we doing this, so we knew that netcat was running. We knew that it was the parent image. We knew that there would be child processes that are being run from netcat because we knew that netcat does a reverse shell, right? So then we were looking to see, okay, are there any child images or grandchild images and or processes, and where are they, which ones were they, and that's why we ran what we ran to find these. So these were the two. Okay. um, Obviously it executed the exfiltration ps1, that's the big thing. And then we go to 9. What can we learn from the child's command line of the image, the image that ran the file in the previous question? So if we go and we run it, here, let me just delete all this. And if we run that, might need to recopy it. It's kind of finicky, just be warned. Just gonna do it. Gonna be a pain in the butt. Okay. Yeah, let me just. Okay, there we go. And we'll hit enter. Okay, so we have a couple of things here. Yeah, we can see some of the files name requests by the all get request with the website crawling alert. It's the same file. So what can we learn? The attacker creates a file named info.aspx, creates a file named techportal. Attacker reads the context of info or deletes the info. So let's see what it does. So it uses JavaScript, request.item password. So yeah, it's trying to retrieve stuff for info.aspx. Let's see what else we can learn just by reading. There's the SHA one right here. Um, let's see. Yeah, there's another one. Let's see. Yeah, so here's the PowerShell command that was ran, executive level bypass, um, C exfiltration PS1 data. So that's the first one. Let's go back. Yeah, that's fine. So you might wonder what all this means. So what can we learn from this command line image? The correct answer will be the attacker creates a file named info.aspx to the web server and shares the directory images with everybody. So what was the purpose of this attack? It should be data exfiltration. Let me look at the guide me. Yeah, so it created persistence with a reverse shell interpreter on the web server. Then he injected his own file into the web server's directory that achieved a web shell. Then he used the web shell to exfiltrate data. So what was the ultimate goal? Well, technically it was also persistence and web shell and data encoding. Like all of those things happened, but I believe the ultimate goal was data exfiltration. He was trying to obtain stuff. So let's see if I'm right. I am correct. Okay, so I know this is a lot of information. I know Splunk is kind of terrible to deal with. It is a lot of information, a lot of gobbledygook, if you will. Like I guess to further quick explain this for people who want to know, within this Splunk event, uh, it's going to utilize PowerShell with the exfiltration PS1 that bypasses everything, and then it stores it. Um, it'll store it. Let me go back here into the net share, so it'll use net share images within this tech portal and grant everyone full access. So it's kind of in depth. I know it's kind of in the weeds. I would highly suggest, this one uh, module isn't going to really cut it to have you guys truly understand everything that's going on. But Splunk is like a must-needed tool, I think, for logging purposes, if that's what you guys need. There's other tools, of course, that you can use, but that's what I would suggest. Let me know if you guys have questions, okay?